have said they are ready to start it off. So, Baggy Pampers going to be on the blue side. TBR have elected the red side for this game number 1. We're going to kick it off with a Rengar ban for the side of Baggy Pampers. TBR going to elect the Yasuo hover here. Will be locked in, so Baggy Pampers back to them. Let's see what we get here for game number 1. Lulu going to be the hover and the lock-in. Lulu, not a champion that we've seen super often in Hardwire or just in general in the loading screen, but definitely a very strong support. Chen going to be the answer back for the side of TBR. The final ban here for Baggy Pampers in this first phase of this first game. What do they elect to prioritize will be the Seraphine. So a lot of support focus for this Baggy Pampers side. Mordekaiser going to be the lock for TBR. They prefer to focus on the top side, but a little bit of mid focus as well. Baggy Pampers, despite banning the Seraphine, will take the Ashe for their first priority pick here in game number 1. This is an interesting choice. We'll have to see what support they elect to pair it with. TBR, they have 2 picks here. Will they answer back with the ADC jungle as is traditional? Or will we get some variance in their drafting? Will be the Orianna locked in for Philomena in that mid lane. Orianna could potentially go support, but not very likely to do so. Zion also locked in, so they're changing it up a little bit. Normally in draft, we do see an ADC or support and then a jungle pick locked in for those first 2 picks, but TBR have decided to buck the trend for game number 1. Will it pay off for them? Zion and Orianna going to be a decent combination here. Kind of surprised they didn't lock in the Nocturne for the jungle, because Orianna Nocturne is a very terrifying combination. That ball can be very strong. Great delivery system in the Nocturne. For the side of Baggy Pampers, they have elected to pair that Ashe with the Braum, so keeping the Freljord theme so far. What will this third pick be? We're going to see a Sejuani come out here. Or Lissandra maybe? Ooh, okay. Kali being hovered here and will be locked in. Now Kali is a flex between mid and top lane. Most commonly seen in mid, but can definitely be played top. A decent assassin and definitely going to make life difficult for the Orianna. That Shroud going to be making it a little bit difficult for the ult to land. Of course, same for Sion as well. Can't really hit what you can't see, but if you have enough lockdown, Kali has a much more difficult time. And this TBR team electing to pick a little bit more with the Wukong. Again, a flex this time in top and jungle. So we'll have to see if that champion ends up going jungle, as it likely will, as it is the Sion picked already. Of course, Sion could potentially be a support flex or maybe even a mid flex, Orianna going bot lane, but these are not likely scenarios. It's likely this is their top half of the map. So we return to ban phase here. Will be the Gwen locked in for this first one. Will be the response in the Rakan, so more support focus here for the side of Baggy Pampers. TBR sort of with that top lane focus. Of course, they already have their top lane and their jungler, so they are free to ban all of that away. Baggy Pampers and TBR final bans here for this game number 1 will be the Jarvan. So a lot more jungle focus here and things that are bad into the Sun and the Wukong. Jarvan could definitely cause some grief for this TBR squad that's already selected. That Cataclysm making the Sion ultimate very annoying. Same with the Wukong. Kind of lock him in that cage. Not able to go anywhere. Baggy Pampers going to ban out the Smolder here for their final ban. And this is a champion that has fallen in priority, especially after taking a lot of hits, a lot of nerfs. Especially from the Blackfire Touch, the Black Cleaver nerf. A lot of things no longer viable on this champion. Has dropped a lot in priority. Still doing pretty well. can definitely scale. But Jinx locked in as TBR's ADC, and they will final pick their support here for this game number 1. Baggy Pampers going to go ahead and lock their top half of the map. Both solo laners, excuse me, Akali will be picked up, but not shown exactly where it is. Jungle and either mid or top. Zaheen going to be Hubbard and locked in here for this game number 1. And this is an interesting team comp. Baggy Pampers kind of looking for a bit of pick, but do have a decent amount of team fight. But TBR's team fight a lot scarier, a lot more reliable. Good delivery systems on the Sion and the Wukong for that Orianna ultimate. And not really a whole lot that the Braum can block either. From this TBR squad, I'm not really seeing anything that's like specifically screams out to me that Braum counters, aside from maybe that Jinx Super Mega Death Rocket. All right, welcome everyone. Game number 1, the 2nd seed, Order of the Black Rose versus the 3rd seed, Baggy Pampers, facing off in this best of 5. Not a lot of action, very early. Some good wards coming out from the side of TBR. Start this one off. He will be on that Sion in the top lane, going up against the Zaheen. And of course, Zaheen, as we've talked about before on cast, Silver has it all to do. Leahy can just sit back and farm up the wave. Get to annoying tank proportions on the bot side. Chirel and Baby Josh going to be putting in a lot of work. Philomena going to be taking a lot of damage early from the Sakali. Deathstar doing a decent job of poking out in this lane. Talia very annoying champion to lane against, but of course Orianna going to have her own annoyances as well. That command attack with a very low cooldown and a very low mana cost. Of course, Kali has no mana, doesn't need it. So we're going to be trying to push this Sion off the wave. Jinx and Milio getting the early push in bot lane, as both junglers going to be transitioning towards their bottom side. First fight could break out around that Scuttle Crab, and Deathstar is going to be taking a decent amount of poke. Philomena will spot out that the crab has been taken now, or excuse me, that the chickens have been taken now. Deathstar going to be taking a lot of poke, and Philomena already using a decent amount of that mana, but getting a lot in return. Taker going to be doing a very good job clearing these camps out very quickly. We'll be setting up for that Scuttle Crab. Now, if he transitions through that Tri-Brush on the bottom side, going to be a little bit scary because there is a red ward in that bush. They will know exactly where he is. Shono has elected to drop his blue. Take the Scuttle Crab early. Meanwhile, Haker has elected to recall. Go for that topside Scuttle instead. Braces and Peppermint on this bottom side have done a good job of pushing this in so far. They will be up a little bit. Small advantage in the mid lane as well as Leahy going to take a decent amount of damage. That Conqueror will be procced by Silver. Philomena needs to be really careful here. About to walk into Haker, but Chono's not far behind. Philomena does not have a lot of mana. Oh no, Philo. Oh no! A flash over the wall will almost get him away, and now Haker needs to run for his life. Will be multiple flashes collected here by both teams, both mid laners and junglers flashing, and it will be a 1-for-1. Death Star is going to be the beneficiary of that, as he did pick up first blood and will have a Hextech alternator early. That makes his laning phase so much more annoying in this game number 1. He will collect this turret, or collect this wave right in front of his turret. Does not have a whole lot of mana. A little bit of a pullback from the Scion. Taking a look at the runes here for this game number 1. Conqueror on multiple members here. Oh, Philomena going to get a little bit of trade. Government here in this mid lane will drop a campfire. Try to make things a little bit easier for his mid laner. Personally, one of the matchups that I typically ban in mid lane. Oh, I do apologize. There is a small crash on my side. We will be reconnecting shortly. Please stand by. Should get back into game here very shortly. I do apologize for the technical issue. Sorry about that, folks. We are right back into the game, right back into the action. We did not miss a single kill. I mean, I did have to recall. Is back out onto the map. No dragon taken yet, but TBR is looking around this objective. Does have the early prio. Maker will be walking towards his top side. Already some things going down on the red side for Baggy Pampers. They know this Drake is going down. So this Amumu will look to invade early. Trying to punish. That rotation will collect chickens. Will not collect a whole lot more. Meanwhile, Philomena and Death Star going to resume trading back and forth in this mid lane. Of course, Wukong will notice that his chickens have been taken, will resume his clear. Thankfully, no red take yet. Won't have access to that buff. Hager not feeling super confident in taking that one. Wukong though, going to start up the grubs here. We'll try to get full early objective control, and looks like it will be completely uncontested. Haker just looking to farm this one out. Will not be trying to contest after that early skirmish. Red team will collect the grubs, as the announcer says. And full early objective control going over to the side of Order of the Black Rose. Despite that though, still a small gold deficit thanks to that first blood. Yes, relatively even in most of the lanes. Bot lane though starting to create a bit of an advantage for themselves. Will be almost a wave advantage towards the Jinx. Does have that BF sword. Silver looking to get a little bit aggressive here onto Leahy. Will get multiple knockups. Will proc the Conqueror as well. And now Baby Josh trying to hold this wave for Jirel to get back. Will manage to do so relatively successfully. Wave will crash under the turret, but Ash should be able to collect most of that relatively easily. So far, besides this early skirmish, not a whole lot of action. Lemina trying to poke out Death Star here on this Orianna. Haker looking to make me a bit of a liar and trying to find a play here. Baby Josh also rotating towards this mid lane. Philomena looking for a potential recall. Peppermint will also rotate towards this mid, clear out a little bit of vision. Baby Josh will spot this out, will land the Q. Jinx needing to back up a little bit in the face of that Ashe. Now Baby Josh returning slightly before Peppermint. The wave being held close to this TBR tower. Wukong rotating towards this bottom side. Will potentially look for a play. No vision available for the side of Baggy Pampers. They do not know that this monkey is here. A recall for Baby Josh. Silver going aggressive on this top side. Will try to push this Scion off the wave. Now TBR knows that this Ashe is all alone in the bottom side. Will they take advantage of it? Not quite able to do so. Wukong does return to farming. Drake spawning in about 10 seconds here. Multiple members of both teams in the area. Good vision set up for the side of Baggy Pampers early. They will have some vision control over this early Drake. Will likely look for that Scuttle Crab as well. Haker finds Chono. TBR looking like they're opting to give this one up. Trying to walk in very carefully. Death Star flying Krasis, the Ashe arrow going wide. Ollie will collect the Jinx. Not able. But here comes Leahy on that Scion. Haker using the ultimate. Chono taken very, very low, but Haker flashing forward or flashing backwards, but then walking forward. Now Baby Josh needs to run for his life. And a good response from TBR, not looking to give this one up and managing to successfully take it. 2 Drakes in their favor. Does require the Scion ulti. Won't be required to give up a couple of plates on that top side as well, but good rotations from the entire team. Going to feel a little bit sad that the Jinx was caught out there, but a little bit out of position. Silver putting a decent amount of damage, a lot more than I expected, into this turret, especially granted that he has no grubs available to his side. Good rotations from Leahy to make the difference in that fight. A little bit more action here on this top side of Silver. Trying to put the hurt into the Scion, but unfortunately it's just not having a whole lot of effect. This Scion is already very tanky. Does have the first component of that Thorn Mail. Will already be reducing the healing that Zaheen has. Jirel getting a plate here for himself, and a lot of plates collected already for the side of Baggy Pampers. 6-1 in turret plates, but of course full neutral control for TBR side. not a whole lot of action here, but Chono going to head up towards this top side, will force over to use the ultimate and the flash. Only the Wukong ultimate. Peppermint with a good buffer, and Haker now here on the bottom side. Peppermint is likely going to have a bad time. The bandage toss does miss. Oh, Leahy, I'm not sure that's the teleport that you wanted. Jinx going back in, but the Amumu ultimate stops him in his tracks. Death Star is here on this bottom side now. Scion ultimate used to no effect, and multiple kills going in the favor of Baggy Pampers. Not able to collect on this early turret, but the Rift Herald does go down in the favor of the TBR. So some trades back and forth. The Silver looking to take this turret, will not do so in the face of this Wukong, but it is very low. Does need to be careful. Death Star also starting to get a little bit stronger here. Does have his first item, as well as a needlessly large rod. First items pretty much all around. Philomena electing for a build that we have not seen in a long time. Will be the Rod of Ages. And this is a little bit interesting. It's decent enough into the Akali and the Zaheen, but definitely not one that we typically see. And usually one that we would see in association with an Archangel staff. Note here, being built for the Soriana means that he will not have that scaling for quite a while, if at all. Silver will pop the passive in this top lane, trying to fight this one out. A little bit of a questionable build choice from this mid lane, but we'll see how it works out. We'll have a little bit of extra health against the burst that the Sakali likes to provide. Silver taking a lot of damage here from Leahy on the Scion. It's mostly passive damage. Leahy is really just doing a lot of AoE, not directly trying to damage or fight Silver on this Zaheen. Maybe Josh trying to jump back as Wukong jumps forward. Not want this fight necessarily. Drake will be spawning in 15 seconds though. Leahy needs to be a little bit careful about going too aggressive. Silver does have teleport available. Leahy trying to prevent that recall but not able to do so, and so now he will have to walk down. We'll have to use that Scion ultimate. The teleport coming out for the Zaheen. As TBR starts this objective up. Good Chompers and Death Star waiting in the wings. The ultimate coming out from Leahy, looking to do exactly what he did last time. Will not find Haker this time though, as Death Star goes in looking for that backline. Will find the Akali. The Akali will find the Jinx once again. Silver with a good ultimate, and Haker with a good ultimate over the top as well. This time, Baggy Pampers will not be run off of this Drake. They will take it instead of spilling it, running for his life from Silver. Chono not so lucky, falls to the Ashe. A 3-0 in favor of a 3-for-1 in favor of Baggy Pampers, and Death Star doing so much work on this Akali. Finding the Jinx once again. Grace is not able to find the correct positioning to avoid that Akali. Very good flank from Death Star in this mid lane. As notated previously, TBR did win in the series versus Baggy Pampers, but Baggy Pampers seem to have learned from their mistakes. Seems they have started to set up a little bit more. They have stopped this dragon stacking 20 minutes into the game and a 2.5k gold lead for their side. Starting to look a little bit worrisome, but multiple members here of Baggy Pampers on the top side will be looking for a potential play. going to find anything. Its mid lane will rotate towards the top side. Bot lane will rotate in mid. A full rotation for all 3 lanes. Now, first turret has not been claimed. Silver was looking good to claim it on that top side. Probably going to have a little bit more difficulty claiming it for herself. And it is a little bit atypical for bot lane to rotate before turret has been taken either in bot or in mid. But given the time of the game, bot lane needs to be able to rotate towards either side of the map. So this rotation makes a lot more sense. As Chono going to set this Rift Arrow down on the bottom side. Now, there are 3 plates remaining on this bottom turret. The maximum the Rift Arrow will completely kill is about 1.5. Maybe Josh rotating towards this bottom side, but likely not necessary. That Rift Arrow will not completely kill the turret. Will do a lot of damage though, and that turret going to be taken very low. Good threat in the bottom side for TBR to be able to take this first turret. And if they overload one particular part of the map, we'll be taking that mid lane turret very, very low as well. Rubs in their favor, so they will have a little bit more pushing power. But Silver trying to make Leahy think twice about stepping up into lane with him. But Leahy mostly just trying to defend this turret, trying to keep the wave away, trying to make sure that Silver cannot auto this turret, because if he even breathes on it at this point, will go down. Leahy going to be taking a little bit of damage. Slight XP advantage for the Sahin. And now Leahy will give up the ghost. He will elect not to never mind. Making me a liar once again. We'll collect this final wave. We'll reset. We'll have teleport up and available. And we'll be able to get back to this lane very quickly. Drake coming up in a minute 15. Does he really want to use this teleport right now? Silver is going to have the advantage. Blue team will collect the first turret. Silver grabbing that one up for his team. And very late in the game, both of these teams taking this game very slow, very measured, trying to feel each other out. This is going to be a long series. They need to prepare for it. Both of these teams relatively even. A little bit of a difference in both top lane and ADC, but besides that, mid lane very even. Support and jungle also very even in terms of gold. We start to see another Drake spawn. TBR are going to try and put themselves on soul point, try to create a threat here for their team. Leahy rotating down will be a lot healthier this time. Sunfire Cape completed for the Scion. Several hundred stacks picked up for him as well. Will be a very large boy as Death Star and Haker trying to work together to clear out some of this vision. We'll have a decent flank off. Haker looking for a good position here. Leahy, so many threats that he needs to stand in front of. Chono is not super tanky on this Wukong. Only has Triforce completed. Not have the benefit of that Scion passive. Leahy needs to identify where Death Star is coming from. That ward's cleared out. Anything is very annoying. Silver also a potential threat as the Ash Arrow comes out from Jirel. Chono throwing out the ultimate as well. Oh my goodness, that is a 5-man Amumu ulti. He is trying to walk out of there. Blue team will slay the Drake. Government going to fall shortly after. Philomena flashing away, but Silver using the ultimate. Death Star once again finds that Jinx. And it's once again a 3-for-0 in the favor of Baggy Pampers. They are just playing these team fights better. Haker with the full team ultimate. on that Amumu, just able to find everyone, even though the Ash Arrow had no real effect. It did have the effect of pulling some of those important summoners out from this TBR team. Baggy Pampers looking to return to form. They have taken these 2 recent losses and are not feeling good about them. So, Baggy Pampers wearing purple. What can they get done here? Can they accelerate the pace of this game? Already a 5.5k gold lead at 25 minutes. Trying to push themselves for the advantage in this game number 1. They have been doing a very good job of it so far. Playing the game slow. Giving up what they needed to. Finding the small advantages. And Death Star has been so strong on the Sakali. Finding the members of Order of the Black Rose that he needs to. Silver looking like a very scary threat on this Zaheen as well. Has not really been as big. Haker now going to be rooted up. Chono looking for the flash forward. Will find Jirel, but not able to really find a whole lot. Still 4 members here. Silver is on the way now. Haker's very, very low. Will get taken down. Shut down going over Philomena, but he will pay for it with his life. Shroud coming out now as Death Star has arrived. Baggy Pampers, whatever you can do, we can do better is what they say to Order the Black Rose. A 1 for 4 in their favor. They will take this mid lane turret. Death Star needs to be a little bit careful here. Don't know if he really wants to fight Leahy under this turret. And Order the Black Rose, they just don't have enough tankiness, don't have enough members to stand behind, cannot cover all the angles. They do manage to take down the jungle of Baggy Pampers, but that's all they get. Silver looking to take even more on this top side. Already collected 1 turret. Not quite collect a second, but Baggy Pampers finding the angles. They're looking good to secure this game number 1. Ballooning this lead with every play they make. And it was a good look from Order of the Black Rose. They had identified that they were starting to fall behind. They were looking for the angle. Chono was able to find a decent one, and Haker not quite able to make it out. Philomena collecting some much needed gold on this Orianna, but this is something that we have talked about time and time again with this mid laner trolling his team a little bit. Not having a whole lot of damage on this Orianna. Not nearly as much as he should have in this game. Very, very defensive options. Coming out for this mid laner will be the Roa and the Zanya's second item. And unless I miss my mark, he is looking for a Death Cap third, which is a bit of an odd choice. Maybe it was Shadow Flame. Could be a Shadow Flame on this Orianna. We'll have to see what this third item is. Again, not a whole lot of damage on this champion, especially not what we expect him to have. With a much more aggressive composition. Ooh, Chono looking for a potential play, but will get spotted out by that Hawk Shot. And look at the gold graph here. We can see how this lead has arisen from that third Drake all the way up to the present. Fifth Drake will be spawning here in just a couple of seconds. Baggy Pampers looking to put themselves on Soul Point. Order the Black Rose wisely choosing not to contest here. Soul Point going over to Order the Black Rose. Leahy trying to get a little bit of gold back for his team. Will do a decent amount of damage to this turret. Buddy, you are tanky. You can stay there. couple of Akali cubes is not going to do a whole lot to you, but Leahy will back off. Does not know where the rest of Baggy Pampers are just yet. Not want to risk anything. 1,200 stacks now for that Scion. Oh no, going for the Scuttle Crab. Does realize, oh no, he is running for his life. Will be forced to use the R, but an R coming out in response from Jyrel. Silver will collect that kill. Just not able to take that Scuttle Crab, not able to take pretty much anything. Is Peppermint now in a very dangerous position, will be forced to use the flash, trying to get away, but Jyrel will pop the ghost on that Ashe, will go godlike. Now, Jinx trying to get away, but once again, Death Star will collect that kill. I feel like the only person that Death Star has targeted in this game is the Jinx. But all 6 deaths, I'm pretty sure, of that Jinx have been to the Akali. And she has identified her target. She is zoned in on it. And will be taking down this big purple worm. Next target of Baggy Pampers. They have said no more losses. Wearing purple once again. We'll be looking for this final push. And TBR defend. Massive wave here, and only Peppermint to answer. Baggy Pampers doing well to find the picks. Jinx able to clear out this wave reasonably well. Does have LDR. Runa and Tarkin also helping out as well, but 4 members of Baggy Pampers here. Dono will get found out by Haker. Second bandage toss landing as well. Ultimate coming out from Leahy, but just not able to find it as Jyrel's legendary finds the Milio. Silver now here in the mid lane as well, and it's a 4v5. Baggy Pampers looking to push into the base, looking to make this their game number 1. Leahy trying to get a Q. Haker will go down before able to use that ultimate. Silver, though, goes unstoppable in the back line. Death Star there with him as well. Philomena going to fall next. Chono not even able to pick up the low health Akali. Leahy just looking at his base as it falls apart. He is healthy, but not healthy enough to take on 4 members of Baggy Pampers. 13k gold lead. Death Star getting a little low there. Will fall. Leahy going to go into the Scion passive. Peppermint respawning just in time to watch the Nexus crumble. And that is game number 1. Jyrel trying to go for one more kill. Will not manage to get it. Alright, everyone. Welcome back. Game number 2. TBR electing the blue side. And we are jumping straight into draft here. Not too many changes here in the lineup for this game. Will be the Shen and the Yasuo banned out for TBR. Baggy Pampers electing to ban the Rengar and the Seraphine. We'll see if TBR keep their final bans. We'll be locking this in here. This could be all important. TBR on the blue side will have that priority pick. What do they not want to see in response for Baggy Pampers? We'll be thinking about this one a little bit harder than their first 2 bans. Want to potentially make this a little bit stronger. Ooh, okay, a Cassante coming out from TBR. 2 top lane bans and a mid lane ban for their side. Will Baggy Pampers ban another support here? Trying to keep Peppermint a little bit out of this game. No, they will spread their focus around a little bit more this time. Will be the set ban, excuse me, for the side of Baggy Pampers. And now, TBR with their first pick here. What is their priority? Where does that lie? Will it be in the ADC role or jungle? Okay, Lulu going to be picked up here for TBR. And as we mentioned in game number 1, Lulu has not been seen a whole lot for this league, but very strong champion. Very good to play in that support role. They want to pick it up before it gets banned out. So Baggy Paper is going to feel a little bit sad about not banning out the second support here, but what do they answer in response? Okay, Senna coming out for Baggy Pampers here. We'll see what second pick is going to be. Will it be that Recon as suggested by some members of chat earlier? Oh, nope. Will be the Nautilus. Baggy Pampers going to pair those two together. And Senna, in the past, definitely liked fasting a little bit more based on the way her stacks were changed or her stack generation was changed. But now, with the ADC quest item, definitely feeling a lot stronger on that champion. The longer this game goes, the more difficult it's going to be for the side of TBR. But Kog'Maw going to be hovered here. Will be locked in. Kog'Maw Lulu, a classic combination. Very strong bot lane. Looks like Ornn will be picked up here as well. And this Kog'Maw is going to be so strong with those Ornn items. TBR opting for a little bit later of a game. Will be locked in here for their side. So a decent core built here for the side of TBR. They really want a team fight with that Kog Lulu. Ornn, of course, to stand in front and collect, just hand out items and take all the damage. While Kog'Maw is able to dish it out from the back line. But Baggy Pampers, last time they were able to pick up a decent mid laner that was able to find those backliners. Ooh, Mordekaiser. Oh, I love this here. Taking the Ornn out of commission, making things very difficult for TBR's team fighting. This is a really good pickup for Baggy Pampers, and it's going to make TBR's life very difficult. But we're going to return to the ban phase here for second round. Baggy Pampers going to be kicking it off. They do have mid lane and jungle bans. They are going to start off with a mid ban. Will be the Cassiopeia. Going to make things a little bit easier for that Nautilus. TBR, where do their ban priorities lie? Will be the Syndra. No Syndra for Philomena or Death Star. Baggy Pampers with their final ban here in the second phase. And for the rest of the game, will they focus on mid lane? Or will they try to ban out another jungle? Excuse me. Will be another mid laner hovered here. Will be the Anivia locked in for Baggy Pampers. So a lot of mid lane focus. Silas also coming out for TBR. And aside from the fact that they've already picked up the Ornn, usually a Silas ban would signal a Malphite. Ooh, Lissandra. Okay. I actually really like this team comp coming out from Baggy Pampers. There's a lot of early game team fighting, a lot of lockdown, and that Kog'Maw is going to have a really tough time even with the Lulu by his side. And honestly, this is kind of what you want to see more from TBR's side. The Mordekaiser and the Lissandra would make life really easy for the Kog'Maw to work with. But Gwen, going to be the response for Baggy Pampers. Likely going to be that Gwen in the jungle. And TBR, their final pick will be for mid lane here. How do they get out of this tough position that Baggy Pampers has drafted them into? What do they do to prevent some of that lockdown or potentially find a backline? Okay. NA Jace. Not typically something that we want to see, but Jace does have a decent time poking out Lissandra. A lot more range on that champion. But Jace is... I don't know. Jace can't really get close to Lissandra in his hammer form. So we'll have to see how this mid lane matchup does play out for the side of TBR. Jarvan going to be the final pickup for Baggy Pampers. Or the Black Rose facing off against Baggy Pampers. GP looking to make this one a swift 3-0 with their team comp draft. So we're going to be spotting out Leahy on this bottom side. Meanwhile, in the jungle, Death Star going to try to prevent Philomena from getting some early vision down. Will not quite be able to. Mid lane is where we are going to place a lot of our focus. Star going to try to lock down Philomena as much as possible, as well as that Kog'Maw. Philomena is able to get ahead, though. Could be a little bit scary for the side of Baggy Pampers. We'll have to see how this mid lane matchup does play out. First, Gyrel on that Senna. The longer this game goes, the more difficult it becomes for the side of TBR. Good hook from Baby Josh onto Peppermint. Gyrel will be able to get a couple of stacks off of that. Philomena trying to poke out this Lissandra in the mid lane. Will be doing a decent job of it. Silver going to take a decent amount of damage from Leahy. Of course, once again, Silver has all the work to do. Silver needs to be really careful. Is taking a lot of poke here on this top side. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, TBR taking control of this lane early. And not a whole lot of pushing power. Peppermint roaming towards the mid lane here, but the wave pushed in. Philomena shoving this one as close to the turret as possible. Junglers have opted to hit opposite sides of the map this time. Baby Josh assisting his jungler, who will recall, will not look for that Scuttle Crab. Never mind. Decides to do so. Putting the hurt down on this Mordekaiser early, but starting to run out of mana. Chono up here on this top side. Will get spotted out by a ward. We're trying to prevent the back now. Good reset from Graces on this. Kog'Maw will collect an early call as well to help with some of that gold generation, trying to get up as quickly as possible. Oh, the lollipop onto Peppermint will be taking a decent amount of damage. The exhaust comes out from Baby Josh. Will prevent that Kog'Maw from going absolutely crazy. Mid lane, slight advantage towards Death Star on that Lissandra. Will be picking up a little bit more of the farm. The question becomes, where do these junglers focus? Chono is going to want to farm this one out as much as possible. Darwin can get a lot more active early. Needs to find a specific place to do so. Teleport used for Death Star on this Lissandra. We'll get back to lane a little bit earlier. Philomena feeling confident about walking back to lane. Not miss a whole lot of CS, maybe 1 or 2 minions. Setup now for Baggy Pampers on this first Drake. They want early objective control. They want that early dragon stacking. Irvin down here on this bottom side. Haker clearing out some vision. Level 6 for both mid laners. Haker still sniffing around this bottom side, looking for a potential play. Not going to find anything necessarily. Is going to rotate over to this Drake. And I'm not sure I love this recall from Jirel. No Drake going to be taken. Both bot laners will now recall for Baggy Pampers. Potential play here. Taker will clear out some vision. Leahy calling the Forge God. Silver going to answer with an ult of his own. Going to be taking him into that Death Realm. Will do a decent amount of damage to this Horn, but not enough to kill. Leahy trying to survive in this lane. Does not have a whole lot of mana left. No has splash available to him. Philomena rotating over to the top side. Essentially gives the Drake over to the side of Baggy Pampers. No contest coming out from the side of TBR. No steal this time from Chono. Will not walk into the jungle. Will just take his own camps. Gabriel on the spot side all by himself. Maybe Josh on the roam, looking for a potential play in mid lane, but will not find anything. Maybe Josh returning towards this bottom side. Again, not a whole lot of action in this early game. Both teams knowing the stakes, taking it very slow. Grubs will be spawning. Both junglers on the top side. Destar looking for a potential play on to Philomena, forcing the flash out. Will get him very, very low. Haker also using that Cataclysm. Not be able to secure the kill, but will be able to secure the grubs off of that play. Leahy not super healthy in his own right. Has about half his mana. And TBR giving up a lot here in this early game. No play towards bottom side. No steal in the enemy jungle's camps. Playing this one very passively. I'm a little bit worried here. Potentially wanting this Kog'Maw and this Gwen to scale up before they really take any fights, but Jace is a little bit more aggressive early. He wants to get those early advantages. Philomena has not been able to find those on this champion. Of course, Ornn also really wants to scale up. This is part of why this Jace was a big question mark in my mind. So much scaling on the side of TBR, really needing a lot of gold to get moving. Thank you, Pampers, with all the aggression in this early game, will collect full objective control. Work this one out. He and Silver once again battling it out on this top side. Philomena looking to go aggressive here, but the response is swift from Haker and Deathstar. This is part of the problem that you have when you play Jace into Lissandra. If you go in at any time, you are basically just inviting that Frozen Tomb. First blood. Once again, over to Death Star. Not going to feel good for this TBR team. They have to find something in this early game if they want to stay in it and not fall too far behind. If they do, they have to slow the pace of this game down. As we saw last game, Baggy Panthers do a really good job of finding those small early leads and then pushing the pace of this game. Driving it forward. Silver looking to drive forward this top lane push. Multiple members here now collecting around the Drake, which has spawned. Second Drake will be Mountain. No Mountain Soul available for either team. Oh, what a good ultimate from Death Star, finding multiple members. Philomena once again going to get jumped on. Baker now in a bit of trouble, will not be able to complete the kill. Chono looking for potential play here, and Death Star has to flash over the wall, but a kill onto Philomena, and now Jyrel will slay Peppermint. That one looked good, but maybe slightly early from Death Star. Lissandra finding the potential play, but no one there really to follow up. It's a little bit disappointing, but it does come out a 2-for-1 in favor of Baggy Pampers. No Drake take available as Haker was the one to fall. A little bit more communication from Death Star before looking for that play maybe. Once again, going to put TBR on the back foot. Baggy Pampers simply running it straight back out towards that Drake. We'll be looking. Chono found out here. Philomena does have Voltaic Psycho Sword. First item. Malignance built for Death Star. Silver will miss a plate on the top side, but his team doing a good job of taking the strike here. Won't collect both early Drakes. And if you're gonna get 2 Drakes early, I really like Ocean and Mountain personally as the first 2. Cloud Soul will be the one selected for this game once again. Philomena starting to fall behind a little bit in this matchup though. Will be about 10 CS behind, about 100 gold. 2-0-1 for this Lissandra. One thing that you really want to see when you're playing Jace into a shorter range matchup, of course, Lissandra is a battle mage, does not have super long range like some of her other battle mage counterparts. You really want to see Philomena abuse the range on that Jace, has so much of it. Not able to poke out this champion. Death Star though, looking for a potential play on bottom side, will get spotted out just now. The polymorph coming out before the E can be completed, but it does not matter to the ultimate coming out from the Lulu. Leahy now on this bottom side. Baby Josh maybe in a little bit of trouble. Does flash away. Philomena looking for a play here, but the ultimate's still available for Death Star. The bait. Now Haker looking for a play on Peppermint. Will not matter. Silver down here to collect that kill. Chono trying to protect the rest of his team, but a good dive Baggy Pampers showcasing exactly how to pull that play off. Even with the polymorph from the Lulu, there's just too many people to have to worry about. Baggy Pampers starting to push this game further and further ahead. 2.5k gold lead at 15.5 minutes. The thought of a 3-0 must be somewhere in the back of their minds. They are playing this series well. They are showing that they have learned from their recent defeats. Question now becomes, how deep are their champion pools? If TBR can push them to a game 3, or excuse me, if TBR can push them to a game 5, they somehow can win in these next couple of matches. How deep are the champion pools of Baggy Pampers? How deep are the champion pools of TBR? Now here on this bottom side, potentially stepping around, will not have any camps to collect. Leahy is relatively tanky. The team will take the Rift Herald, so a little bit of objective control for the side of Baggy Pampers, but Haker now shows himself on this bottom side. He will use the ultimate. You know what? They say, forget it. We're just going for this turret. We'll collect the first turret on that bottom side. Cataclysm coming out, but will not matter. Shutdown going over to Leahy. We'll collect that Mordekaiser. And a little bit back for this Ornn. Level 14 can start handing out items. His team not super far ahead. Graces looking for a potential play here. Maybe Josh down here as well. Chono hovering around. Makes him think twice. But he now has to run for his life. His Death Star is here. Will not continue the chase though. Philomena allowed to collect some of these plates on the top side. Does have those Merc Treads. Going to be all important for this game. A lot of AP for him to protect himself against, and a lot of CC as well. Mid lane going to be the focus. Both bot laners are here. Tyrell with 42 stacks. Already built up on this Senna. Going to be a bit of a threat here. Another turret taken though for the side of Baggy Pampers. Silver needs to be careful though. Does not have teleport on this Mordekaiser. Trying to create pressure. This third Drake spawns. Chono looking for a potential play. Leahy going in on Baby Josh. Multiple ultimates used on the support, and I'm not quite sure that's really what you want. Chono will take down Baby Josh. Ultimate coming out. Ooh, Haker finding a decent Cataclysm, but now in the middle of multiple people without a lot of follow-up. Grace is just able to free fire. Multiple members of Baggy Pampers are very, very low. Or excuse me, multiple members of TBR are very, very low. They will need to walk this one out as Silver does join the fight. Tyrell still untouched. TP available very shortly for Death Star. We'll use it now. No ultimate available, so that Frozen Tomb going to make things difficult. Silver looking for a potential play, but a flank coming out from Leahy. Don't have a ton of damage. Chono now looking for a play. The ultimate coming out from Silver onto Chono. Will use that, and Death Star going in, but Polymorph just to his death. Philomena will shut him down. Double kill over for Silver though. This raid boss is starting to come out. Quadra kill. Will we see another penta? The Q comes out, and it is a pentakill for Silver. The first penta of playoffs going to the top laner of Baggy Pampers to save that team fight. It was looking very rough for a moment there. Silver able to find Chono, able to take down that jungler. Third Drake going over to Baggy Pampers. Oh man, heartbreak for TBR. That team fight almost looked good for just a moment. Haker and Death Star kind of throwing a little bit on some of those plays. Silver there to clean them all up. Graces definitely found a lot of time to free fire on that back line. Already showing he is a scary champion in his own right. Has the first upgrade from the Ornn. And with that Lulu to stand beside him, going to make things very difficult. Going to be going for that Blade of the Ruined King second item, making life difficult for the short range members of Baggy Pampers, which is most of them. Tyrell is the only long range member on this team. Going to be all up to Haker and Death Star to find those backline plays. Government can only polymorph one of them, and it has to be Death Star. Herald, someone up here in the mid lane, looking for some pressure, but multiple members of Baggy Pampers standing around here. Leahy is rotating over. Okay, Peppermint will not find driver's license. Now it's just disaster for TBR. Multiple members going down. Chono is incredibly scary, but Silver shows up to help out with the team fight. A double kill going over to Jyrel. Chono will take out Haker. And Leahy trying to prevent this turret, but oh man, absolute heartbreak for TBR. Honestly, it seemed like Peppermint was trying to decide what to do with that Rift Herald, and if I'm gonna be honest, I think the correct answer is to just find another lane. You have 4 members of Baggy Pampers in the mid lane. Peppermint is going to be the second one. A consolation prize for, I don't know, leading the rest of his team to their deaths. But, I mean, when you see 4 members standing there like that, and you have so much time to make those turns, I mean, you could kind of see the indecision coming out for the support. But for the rest of TBR, I mean, if you see a play like that go down, just don't be in the area. Let your support die. I don't know. It just some questionable decisions for TBR. They've already beaten this Baggy Pampers squad. They could do it again, but with some of these plays, it just isn't looking like it's going to happen. 23.5 minutes, a 5k gold lead in Baggy Pampers' favor, and they're going to push the pace of this game. They're not going to let their foot off the gas. Tyrell with 72 stacks on the Senna. Chono does now have 2 items. And personally, I would have liked to have seen the second item go over to Chono. But, I mean, I don't know. we'll have to watch this game play out. We'll see how it goes. Muramana now completed for Philomena. Blade of the Ruined King completed for Carasis on that. Oh, Haker going to find Chono here. Gwen is immune. Death Star not able to find a play. 30 seconds on this next Drake. Leahy does have teleport available. Won't be able to join his team. Will he be able to find a good flank? But multiple recalls coming out. A lot of vision control given up for the side of TBR. Maybe they feel like they just can't walk in. However, Baggy Pampers are making an interesting call here. They decide they want to push the pace of this game a little bit more. Putting out some vision, but not going to go necessarily for this Baron. Trying to bait TBR up towards that top side, forcing them to replace their vision, or just making sure that TBR can't go for a Baron sneak of their own. Will just be Haker on that Drake. Four members of Baggy Pampers up here to protect a potential Baron play. Haker has decided. Oh, Chono has decided to go in, though. Will not be able to find too much on Jirel. Death Star able to E back as well. And now Haker in a good position. Will 4-man Cataclysm. Multiple flashes blown. Leahy looking for a potential side flank. Jirel having to run from his life from Karasis now. Haker looking for a potential play. This team fight is very messy, but Gwen is immune. Philomena falling to Jirel, who's on a rampage. A double kill going over to Silver. And this may just be the game, as once again, Leahy watching his base fall apart. Nothing he can do on this tank champion. And what a good flank from Haker to find the play. Leahy tried to find a flank of his own, but Death Star just locked him up completely. Almost looked good for a moment. Karasis not quite able to outrange Haker's potential play. Now Baggy Pampers not quite cracking the base, but will do a lot of damage to it. Well, they will crack the base. They will not crack the inhibitor yet. A lot of setup though. Preparation for this Baron. Baggy Pampers want to push the pace of this game. Want to end it quickly. 27 minutes so far. 6 minutes to beat their previous time. Over on this bottom side. Teleport up and available. 4 members of Baggy Pampers playing around this Baron. Is Chono. Looks like he's decided to just give it. He's trying to take as much as he can off of Baggy Pampers' bottom side. Potential play was developing on the bottom side, but TBR, a lot of indecision here. Doesn't really seem like they know where people are. I mean, they know Baron is going down. They have to. And it will be confirmed for them now as the blue ward will spot this out, but no play on the bottom side. Silver is pushed up very far and is just allowed to walk out for free. Chono did take a decent... He took 2 camps on the blue side of Baggy Pampers, but just a lot of indecision. A lot of no like... It doesn't seem like TBR have any like real leading voice. This is game number 2, and their spirit already looks a little bit broken as Chono, getting spotted out by 3 members here, goes immune but can't stay immune forever and will fall. Turret collected on the bottom side by Philomena, but now Haker will kill off the biggest member of TBR, and Baggy Pampers just going to look to push for the end here. 3 members of TBR up against the world. Leahy throwing out that ultimate will get rooted up, will not be able to recast. Philomena going to get Frozen Tomb. Will fall to Jirel. Leahy now just flashing away, trying to run. Will not be able to do so. Will fall in the end. The Zanya's forced out of Death Star, but that is the base gone for the side of Baggy Pamp, or excuse me, for the side of TBR. Will we get Silver Scrapes? Will we see the reverse sweep? Baggy Pampers looking good in this matchup. TBR have it all to do. We're getting into game number 3 here for this series. Bans coming thick and fast. Rengar, Set, and Renekton going to come out for the side of Baggy Pampers. No aggressive options on that top side. TBR going to ban away the Shen and the Yasuo once again. Will we see continuation of the form? Find out soon. Will be the Yorick and out for the side of TBR, so they do not want to see any split push options from Silver. Seraphine Going to be picked up first for Baggy Pampers. That is a good flex champion. Seraphine does a lot more damage than people give her credit for, so we'll have to find out how Baggy Pampers use this. Will it go towards the mid lane or the support role? TBR, though, looking for a bit more flexibility, a little bit more scaling. And I'm not sure that scaling is necessarily what we want to see. TBR, they need a bit more aggression early, but they will lock in the Smolder. Also a flex between mid and ADC. We'll have to see how the scaling pick works out for them. No Ornn to pair with that either this time. So going to be a little bit interesting. And Bessa picked up for TBR. Flex between top, mid, and jungle. Most likely going towards that jungle. He has been on tank duty this entire series. So we'll see if that changes. Or if they want to put it in that jungle role. Good flex though, coming out from TBR. A lot of options for them. Not locking themselves into any one particular comp so far. Vesa will also be able to carry some of the mid game as Cassante coming out for Baggy Pampers. So Silver this time will be on tank duty. Cassante though, a very good champion in that top lane. Definitely very aggressive. Able to dish out a decent amount of damage with that all out. So we'll have to see how that works out for Baggy Pampers. And Bessa into Cassante is also an interesting matchup. A lot of dashes on both of those champions. The Unstoppable against the Public Execution could be interesting as well. Will be the Zinzao Zac? Okay, Zac will be selected for the side of Baggy Pampers, so a little bit more tankiness in the jungle. A decent amount of front line already built up here for Baggy Pampers. Both Cassante and Zac very strong, very tanky. Bessa is going to need to find those backlines as Cho'Gath will get picked up. And once again, TBR building themselves a lot of flex here. Cho'Gath still flexible to top or mid. So not quite sure where these champions are going just yet. We will have to find out here relatively soon as Baggy Pampers going to ban out the Cassiopeia. They believe that the Cho'Gath is going top lane. Bessa in the jungle and Smolder down bottom. Will be the Aurora banned out for TBR. Their final ban. Will it be the final ban of the series? Could define everything. Silas going to be their selection. Or, excuse me, Malphite not likely to come out here. We'll have to see how that works out. Baggy Pampers, their final ban of the game. And this match will be the Annie. And I'm not entirely sure that's what I would have banned. Annie would be kind of a weird pick here, I think. Not a lot of range, especially with the Ambessa and the Cho'Gath. Smolder also having a decent amount of range. Maybe an Ori ban, potentially. Looking for the Ambessa follow-up. But, see what TBR opt to lock in here. Will be the Thresh. So still very difficult to tell where all these champions are going. We really need the mid lane pick. Cho'Gath likely going top, and Bessa likely going jungle. Smolder likely going towards that ADC role. These are all guesses. We're not entirely sure yet where these champions are going. Yone going to be the lock-in for Baggy Pampers. This will indicate to TBR that Seraphine is going towards that bottom side. No ADC yet picked up for the side of Baggy Pampers, so we'll see what they opt to pair that Seraphine with. Yone, very good champion. Strong. Can play well into the Cho'Gath, the Ambessa, and the Smolder. Has a lot of safety as well. Ooh, okay, alright. I really like the setup that Baggy Pampers has here. The Seraphine ulti over the top of either a Zac or a Yone, the Cassante to stand in front. And the Yunara can dish out so much damage on that back line. They answer one hyper carry with another. The late game scaling is going to be nuts for both of these ADCs. TBR, how do they round out this composition? Baggy Pampers has some good team fights, some good pick, and some good aggression, which they have been using very, very well, and it will be the Ahri locked in for Philomena in this. All right, welcome back. Game number 3.
Order of the Black Rose looking for their first win in this series. Silver and Death Star walking in together. Trying to find some vision onto Chono early. Will be taking an Mbessa in the jungle. But he once again on tank duty in this top lane. Philomena trying to get some early aggression here in this mid lane. Meanwhile, on this bottom side, Jyrel going to have it all to do. Death Star going to use the exhaust early. Will proc that lethal tempo, forcing the flash out of Philomena. Going to feel a little bit rough in this mid lane matchup early.
Shades of punishment.
Silver, though, doing his best in this top side to make life difficult for Leahy on this Cho'Gath. Good positioning of the wave, though, for the side of TBR. Will be able to hold it underneath the turret bottom lane. Let's start taking a more defensive option here. We'll be starting off with the Doran shield. Not something we typically see, but lane starting to push back towards Baggy Pampers. Both junglers moving down towards this bottom side.
It is time.
Zac has some very annoying gank paths, so Peppermint and Krasis need to be a little bit careful here. Silver needs to be a little bit careful, though. Like, he is very strong. Did take Hail of Blades on this Cho'Gath. Good vision from the side of TBR. Be able to spot out that Zac has elected to recall and go for the topside scuttle. Mbessa already completing all of her camps and the bottom scuttle, though. Will look to play towards that top side, and we could see another 2v2. Cho'Gath walking down, missing a little bit of vision. Oh no, electing to return to his camps, though, not electing to contest. Death Star going to have a little bit more difficulty now in this lane matchup. Ari does have multiple abilities available. Going to be a little bit more difficult to poke out with her sustain. Nikki with a little bit of advantage finally on this top side. Will try to poke out Silver on this Cassante. Grace is almost hitting 25 stacks here already. Ooh, good hook coming out from Peppermint onto Baby Josh. Jyrel doing a good job of punishing. Exhaust coming out from Peppermint, but Baby Josh looking to go forward. Flash away from the smolder. Peppermint now in a very dangerous position, forcing the flash as well. Both flashes out from these bottom laners of TBR. Both flashes available for the side of Baggy Pampers. The ignite, or excuse me, the ghost and the heal used from Baby Josh and Jyrel. All summoners used by the side of TBR, so definitely some advantage here on the bottom side. Leahy, though, going to get aggressive. Silver just barely gets the level up in time. Has that all out, but the chomp available now for Leahy as well as Peppermint. Sniffing around this mid lane. We'll look for a potential play. Chrono in the wings. Star looking for a potential recall. Good interrupt from Leahy to prevent Silver from resetting here. Already used the teleport for both of these champions. Drake will go over to TBR early. No contest from the Zac coming out. Leahy putting damage into Silver. Going to make life very difficult for this Cassante. Has all of the range in this matchup. Doesn't have a lot of mana though, but passive will regen some of it. Needs to be a little bit careful. Both of these laners need to be careful on this top side. Leahy going to be able to regen a lot better. Has a lot more sustain in this lane matchup. Oh no, though, on this bottom side, if Jirel gets too aggressive, the public execution comes out onto the Yunara, trying to get away. The flash is available. Chono not going to be able to finish that kill off, but will kill off Baby Josh. First blood going over to the Ambessa. A very good bait from the side of TBR. Knowing that Jirel wants to get aggressive on that champion, finding the correct angle. Finally, TBR getting a little bit of an advantage in this series. First blood and first strike going over to them. For Baggy Pampers, you need to be a little bit careful. This scaling matchup gets going early. Going to make life very difficult for them in the mid and late game. From it, looking for a potential play in mid lane. Not quite find anything. Maybe Josh up here on this top side, helping out with the grubs, but Chono wants to contest for these. Will collect one each. And now the ultimate coming out from Death Star will not really find anyone. Leahy knocking multiple members up. Maybe Josh will take out Chono. Silver will fall as well. Taker will manage to get out, flashing over the wall. 2 grubs collected for the side of Baggy Pampers, 1 for the side of TBR. A little bit of a messy fight, but 2 for 1 in the favor of Baggy Pampers. Only Death Star falling. Of course, Taker losing that passive on the Zac. And a little bit scary. You are the side of Baggy Pampers. You drafted this very aggressive early game team. TBR have drafted more into the scaling. Should not be able to contest for these objectives. And if you allow them to go for it, you're going to have a much more difficult time in the mid game. Leahy, though, will get found by Silver. A little bit of back and forth between these two champions. One comp stack available for that Cho'Gath. Silver, though, going to do his best to hold this wave here. Not be able to do so for very long. Chono waiting in the wings on this bottom side, hoping Jirel gets aggressive, especially without flash. Have Baggy Pampers learned from their previous mistake. Josh will just avoid that hook, and Chono will reset. Taker also here on this bottom side. My bush is warded up, but do they know? The pink ward will come down now. TBR will know that someone else is here. Oh, but they go in anyway. Mom comes out, and Baby Josh is going to fall on that Seraphine. Chono once again collecting another kill on this bottom side. So far, good vision from the side of TBR. Faker has not been able to make these really annoying ganks happen, and now finds himself in a difficult position. Does manage to get away. 3 members of TBR try to collapse on him. This next Drake is up and available. TP coming out for Silver as well. They are here as 5. Going to fight together. TBR call it a win and back off. Leahy will be able to get some plates on that top side. Bit of an early smite coming out from the Zac. No one else there to contest. TBR, this early game starting to look a lot better for them. Not going to be as contested. Leahy now in this mid lane, looking for a potential play. And Star decides he wants none of it. Three members of TBR on this top side. Herald not available just yet. Another ward placed down by Peppermint to make life miserable for Haker. Will be the Chemtech Soul for this game number 3. Baby Josh doing his best to clear out some of this vision placed down by Peppermint. Just start looking for the recall. Very close to that first item.
Unwavering judgment.
Light gold lead in mid and bot lane for the side of Baggy Pampers. A slight lead for Leahy in the top side. And of course, a very large gold lead for that Ambessa. Definitely not the champion you want that on. Oh no, once again, on this bottom side, trying to make things happen. Trying to get the Smolder ahead. They'll have 91 stacks at 13, almost 14 minutes. Not too bad. Scaling, but how much time is Chono going to waste down here? Racist, though, doing a good job of baiting, but is half health. Needs to be a little bit careful. Looking for that potential play. The flash available this time for Jyrel on that Yunara. Going to need to use it correctly. Looks like Baggy Pampers after the second time. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me a third time, not gonna happen. At least not if you are Baggy Pampers. So Chono will lose quite a bit off of that. We'll have multiple camps that he needs to collect. Haker mostly opting to farm. Is up a couple of camps. Don't look for a potential play, but Death Star looking for a play of his own. We'll get charmed up, but we'll do a decent amount of damage. Do the Ori. Maybe Josh now here on this top side. Lumina needs to be a little bit careful if he gets too low in this play. Leahy, though, almost out of mana. Silver looking for a potential play. Does have that Canic Brookern. Is going to make life miserable for this Cho'Gath. Has opted for the Hex Tag. Let's start going forward. Not going to find the Q. Onto Philomena. Herald up and available. Baggy Pampers going to be the first to do this objective. Inara looking for a play onto Krasis though, all by himself. The exhaust and mom come out. Peppermint's on the way. Does have, oh no! The flash forward. The public execution misses as well. Peppermint in a little bit of a sticky spot, but will manage to live for just long enough. Everything used from Gyrel to kill off Krasis there. Not entirely sure if that was worth, but it does take the Smolder off the board for this next play around the Drake coming up in 30 seconds. Both ADCs will be up and available. No summoners, no ultimate support either of them. Heal used as well by Peppermint. I don't know, using the public execution to try and lock down that Yunara. But to no effect. Did manage to get the kill in the end. It's going to hurt a little bit when you use that ultimate. It does not have the desired effect. Silver pushing this wave in, will have teleport available. Leahy is going to have to decide if he wants to walk down now. Philomena finding a good charm onto Haker, followed up. Ooh, the charm coming out from the Encore, but no follow-up really. Baby Josh needs to flash away. Philomena looking for a play, will collect the jungler of Baggy Pampers. Leahy also here in this mid lane. Looks like TBR are going to take this Drake uncontested. That will give them the advantage on these neutral objectives. Maker caught out in a really rough spot. Ooh, the flash forward from Death Star. But Chono is here. No, hey. Oh no! No, Death Star! So close. It's like misplay. I really think you should have Q3'd backwards. Now Silver going all out here on Leahy. Will get knocked up multiple times. The flashes from both. The Q3. Oh, the public execution onto Haker. Not able to find the play. Leahy not able to, or does manage to get out on that top side. And he's starting to fall apart a little bit from Baggy Pampers. 2.5, almost 3k gold lead at 18 minutes into the game. Zambessa becoming more and more scary. The hubris for this champion. Back here on this top side, does not have the ultimate available, but Silver is very low. If he gets knocked up, it's going to be very bad for him. He will walk this one out. Not Leahy managing to knock him up once again. Does now have a very large wave. Silver was the turning factor in both game number 1 and game number 2. Looking reasonably good on this Cassante. And if we're going to make life difficult for both this Cho'Gath and this Ahri. First needs to build some armor against this Zambessa. He, though, putting a decent amount of damage, will get pretty close. Baker up here on this top side as well. Leahy going in, but is not going to do very well for himself. Will manage to collect Silver, though, and going to make life very difficult. The shutdown, though, going over to Haker. Then start there to follow up if necessary. Oh no, looking for a potential play, but the recall is coming out from this bottom lane. Baby Josh will not manage to get his off, but Death Star looking for first turret here up on this top side. Chono using the public execution will collect his 6th kill of the game, going unstoppable. Tyrell rotates over to that mid lane. First turret, though, collected on the top side by Death Star. Sione not quite having the effect that I was hoping for. Not been able to find these kills. Sione does need a decent amount of gold. Does need to scale up a little bit. Same for Yunara. Game is not over yet. TBR in a much better position than they have been during the rest of this series. We'll see how they utilize it. And they put themselves on Soul Point in a minute and a half. Some of these breakout fights happen around the 4th or 3rd Drake. Fourth one is coming up now. Will it be a breakout fight in TBR's favor? We'll have to find out very shortly. Death Star trying to push his advantage as much as, or trying to catch up as quickly as possible. I don't know here on the top side, but Silver is going a little bit aggressive onto Leahy. Baker and Baby Josh up here on the top side though as well, in case a potential play goes down. Baker opting for the Hextech Rocket Belt. This is not something I have seen very often. Ooh, no. Chono is here on his own Raptors, forcing the flash away from the Zac. Death Star is here to respond. TBR are going to be satisfied with those chickens. Will walk themselves out. Actually, they have decided they're not satisfied. The ultimate coming out onto Haker pops that passive once again. Death Star looking for the play. Will catch Chono. Oh, but the Encore finds no one. Peppermint in a very low position now. Philomena running away. Haker has fallen, but Leahy is here. Silver as well. Tyrell trying to do all the damage, but Leahy is just going to eat him. And now the rest of TBR have finally arrived. Chono very low. Will get shut down though. Death Star finding 2. Double kill going over to Leahy, but Silver will kill him off in response. All out going on to Krasis here. This will be interesting. Flash away from the dragon. Philomena still relatively healthy. Has a rock in his face. Not be able to continue those kills. And a bit of a messy team fight back and forth. A 4 for 4 in the, or 4 for 3, excuse me, in the end. Philomena has fixed a little bit of the atomization issues. Not entirely sure I would agree with the second item, but the first one is relatively common. But both teams now need to set up for this Drake. Ultimates will be coming back up. Nora, of course, doing a very low cooldown. Leahy teleporting in. There's the top side. Jyrel needs to be very careful here. Will get caught out in this mid lane. That's not a good start to this team fight. Mom coming out to kill off Baby Josh. Chono will collect that. Silver trying to do a decent amount of damage. Philomena has that ultimate up and available. And another one team fight, seems like, for the side of TBR. Finding the good pick onto Jyrel. It's not in the correct position. Not enough vision to be able to stand there. Third Drake will go over to the side of TBR, putting them on Soul Point. Leahy now potentially looking for Death Star here. Philomena and Chono sniffing around this bottom lane. Jyrel cannot push this wave out and does indeed recall. They know where he is, and the public execution will catch him out. Spirit Rush follow up. That will be once again another death for Jyrel. Chono has been doing a good job of focusing down this hyper carry, keeping him locked down, preventing him from doing his job. Might be a little bit frustrating if you are Baggy Pampers, because you are getting ever closer to that 225 already. 204 stacks on Krasis, but a little bit behind on the stacking now.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
This dragon should already be 225. 20 minutes is the benchmark. We are now 5.5 minutes behind that. Even with the amount of fighting, Racist has not been able to make the same amount of impact he might have wanted. But here in a couple of minutes, it's not going to matter anyway. Does still have a decent KDA. It is still a 5k gold lead at 26 minutes for the side of TBR. Now looking around this Baron. Not a lot of contention here. Leahy, though, a little bit out of position. Will get jumped on by 4 members. Now 5 as Silver makes his arrival. Tries to use the ultimate onto Haker, but not low enough. TBR finding a good pick, staving off defeat in this game number 3. TBR, you cannot be making these kinds of mistakes. I don't know. I'm looking for a potential play. The star is in the area. Will get spotted out by the sweeper. The public execution does come out and does lock him up, but Silver is here to protect. The ultimate coming out from Death Star, but the only ultimate to his doom. Silver on the back line, but does not matter. The charm comes out, but it's just way too late. Jirel trying to survive. Haker comes in and swiftly exits to the gray screen. Once again, public execution comes out. Man, that item, Axiom Arc, is just too good. Despite the pick onto Leahy, TBR managed to find a successful team fight. Baby Josh just too late on that ultimate. If it comes a little bit sooner, maybe the team fight goes a different direction. But now the big purple worm under attack by the side of TBR. Going to look to use the Cho'Gath ulti to kill that one off. Will indeed go over to Leahy on that Cho'Gath. 10 stacks now for him. Racist will bait root a little bit, building the Lord Doms. 3 items now completed for that Smolder. Decap, 3rd item for the side of Philomena on this Ahri. Dragon Soul coming up now for TBR. Taker trying to take his own red buff, but is going to have a little bit of difficulty here. And he's going forward. Mom comes out and Baby Josh will just fall. We have not seen him on anything other than tanks this entire time. Starting to struggle a little bit on the enchanters, it seems like. Maybe a little bit frustrating is that Yunara would be super huge. Silver going to get charmed up, stunned up, silence. Deaths are coming in, but the public execution will right back. Will seal his fate. Arm. Triple kill over to Chono. And finally, TBR have struck back in game number 3. They will not be counted out just yet. They will fight back in this series. No whimpers here. Baby Josh going to sit in his fountain. Knows the game is over. Still have a long way to go. Every single game is going to be a fight uphill. Aggie Pampers can end it at any time if TBR slip up too much. But for now, let's focus on this 4th game. Aggie Pampers have elected the red side for this one. It will be starting off with bans pretty much the same here for TBR. It will be the Shen and the Yasuo, the Rengar and the Renekton coming out from Baggy Pampers. There has been a little bit of adjustment throughout this series, but of course, as more champions get taken out of the pool, it's going to be a lot more difficult. People are going to have to dig a little bit deeper. 30 champions now out and an additional 10 to go. 6 out for this first pick phase, another 4 out afterwards. We will have a total of 40 champions unavailable for game number 4. TBR. Cryo picking the Misfortune. This is an interesting pick. Mumu is already out used in game number 1. We'll have to see what support they want to pair this with. Seraphine also gone. Baggy Pampers. What do they answer with on this bottom side? What is their response into the Misfortune? A lot of hyper carries already taken away, but Xayah would be an interesting one as Rakan is locked in. Will they pair that? Will we get the Lovers duo bot lane? A little more Enchanters coming out for the side of Baggy Pampers in the last 2 games. Did not work out well for them in the last game. Of course, Chono was making that difficult. So we'll just be the Rakan locked in for now. Dr. Mundo going to be in either the jungle or the top lane. Baggy Pampers have a decent flex here. TBR though, what do they answer back with? What is going jungle and support here? Those are the most likely picks coming out next. What pairs well with the Misfortune? Well, the answer looks to be a Leona. Definitely a little more on the skill shot side, as opposed to the Amumu, who can just press R and make life very easy for the Misfortune. But Rumble. Okay, alright, I like this. Rumble in the top lane for Leahy. Will be the Xayah locked in likely for Baggy Pampers. With a few remaining hyper carries still up and available. Jinx, Yunara gone. Ogma also out of the picture. Will be locked in now in Baggy Pampers. Second ban phase. Here in this game number 4. Will be banning out the jungle and the mid lane. TBR will be banning out a little bit, or we'll have a little bit more difficulty banning out. Likely will be Mundo in the jungle. Nocturne going to be banned away here. No Orianna to pair that with. Again, used in game number 1. So, an interesting ban. Of course, Nocturne is incredibly oppressive. Chono had a lot more success with oppressive junglers in game number 3. Was able to sit bot lane a lot. Make life very difficult for Baggy Pampers carries. Will be answered in response though by TBR with the Xin Zhao. It seems like they believe this jungle or this Mundo is going top. Trying to force that into the jungle. This will be the Cassio ban for Baggy Pampers. Silas in response. So a couple more bans that we have seen before. Baggy Pampers though, what do they pick here? Can't really show their hands, so likely going to pick mid lane if they want to keep that flex, but that does give Philomena the advantage on the side of TBR. Still plenty of picks. Ooh, okay. I actually kind of like this hover. Diana will be locked in here, and it allows them to play around with the flex picks a little bit more, while also being incredibly aggressive. Diana, mostly seen in jungle right now, still could be played mid. Philomena needs to be careful of that fact. Needs to pick something able to counter that. Okay, alright, TBR with a bit of an odd pick here. Darius could go jungle. We have not seen Rumble jungle in quite a while, but Philomena will elect to play the Syndra, and this is an odd matchup. Diana into Syndra is a bit of a skill matchup, depending on how you are able to use that Force of Will and Scatter the Weak to prevent the Diana from getting close to you. Generally speaking, is Diana favored? So will it be the Diana in the mid lane? It will not. Baited by Baggy Pampers, the Zed. We'll have a lot of intel, but Silver does not miss with those Qs. Throwing the cup at them. That reminds me, we need a lawyer skin for Mundo. We already have a businessman one. In the mid lane, though, Philomena is going to have a bit of a difficult matchup. Zed is a bit of a pain for the Syndra. Especially once he hits level 2. Will be the Ignite versus the Teleport in that mid lane. Mundo into Rumble is going to make life difficult for the Rumble. Did take Conqueror on that champion though. Deathstar taking a little bit of poke here in this mid lane. Bot lane of Baggy Pampers that will be pushing in. Braces and Peppermint, though, need to play a little bit safe early. Are getting a decent amount of poke out onto Jarrell on this Xayah. That can get quickly turned around. Good poke coming out from Philomena onto Deathstar. Level 3 for both of these mid laners, and this is where things start to get a little bit critical. No electrocute taken for... Ooh, good hold on the Force of Will. Baggy Pampers bot lane having a little bit more sustain. TBR need to be careful. The Diana is now on the scuttle. Roaming up, but going to be taken. Leahy trying to create a little bit of pressure onto Silver. Will overheat. Baker sitting down here on a ward, going to feel a little bit bad. Philomena needs to be careful. Is starting to run out of mana. Does have a decent amount of stacks though. Leahy doing his best to roast this Mundo on the top side. One thing I've never really understood about Misfortune is how the bounces are calculated, because it seems like every time I play that champion, the bounces are not in my favor. Every time someone else plays it, it is like an absolute laser. Seems like Baby Josh getting a bit of that feeling right now. It's very awkward. Bounce coming out from Krasis. The exhaust for the Misfortune is an interesting choice as well. Be interested to see how that works out. One's on the side of Gyro. Government once again looking for a play here mid lane. Deathstar needs to be a little bit careful about how aggressive he goes. Decent stacking here from Philomena, already at 26 stacks. Maybe Josh clearing out some of this vision here, but Haker is close by. Government needs to be careful. Deathstar roaming over as well. The flash may come out here very shortly. Silver in a bit of trouble underneath the turret. Leahy will collect the kill, but will also go down. Uses the ultimate at the last second to try and clear out as much of that wave as possible. Crash it underneath the turret. 1-for-1 trade favoring Leahy. Oh, a good flash coming out from Deathstar. Will use the Ignite as well, forcing the flash out of Philomena. No kills just yet. Ultimate used for Zed, but not for Syndra. Shono here on this first Drake. Baker does see this happening, does not want to allow it to just happen. Deathstar is rotating down. Jyrel also walking over. Oh no, having to flash away over the wall. Baggy Pampers may just say thanks for the leash. Philomena looking to make a play here. Does still have that ultimate available. Haker will not collect the Drake. Jyrel now in a very sticky situation. Will fall as well. Star needing to run for his life. TBR showing some serious signs of life in this game number 4. Pulling out some of those bigger champions. Seems like having a bit of a better time here in some of these matchups. 4 kills to 1 now. No kills collected in that Drake fight. Very, very close on that smite. Maker not able to get his own down, unfortunately. Will give the level advantage to Chono. Jyrel and Baby Josh playing together here in this bottom lane, trying to push this wave in. Trying to get a little bit of an advantage, but are down a little bit in XP thanks to some of those plays. Jyrel now hitting level 6. Bullet time up and available for this Misfortune. Silver having a very rough time in this matchup. Leahy going to run once again underneath the turret. Will not work out for him this time, though. Silver will secure the kill thanks to that Ghost. Was able to get away from some of those critical skills. Leahy just pushing his advantage a little bit too far. Twice he's turret dove and twice he's died. This time without a response kill, but oh no, going to take the grubs uncontested here on the top side. Star still getting poked out here. Philomena feeling very confident about this matchup now. Quite a decent gold advantage as well. 20 CS up on this Zed. Star has not been able to farm very easily. Has not been able to find these aggressive moves the Zed normally would in a mid lane matchup against the Syndra. So good plays by Philomena. We'll see if some mistakes come out, though. Hager and Baby Josh sitting on this bottom side will find Peppermint. No flash available for 8 more seconds. Trying to get this kill, but this is a tanky Leona. The bolt time does come out, and Jyrel does get the kill. Chono is now here on this bottom side. Philomena rotating over as well. Aggie Pampers are going to take what they can get and get out. Chono spotted out on this ward in the tri-bush. Good moves for the side of Aggie Pampers. They get away with a steal. Not pushing their luck. Peppermint may not be the ideal target there. Definitely going to feel better than nothing as they are down currently. Races does need to be careful. Does have a decent amount of mobility on this Misfortune, but Peppermint now looking towards this mid lane. Invade coming out for Chono on this Darius. Will take away the blue buff. Now Haker needs to be a little bit careful. He's rotating over towards that side. Does not have the same assistance. Will get spotted out doing this frog, though. Gabriel is going to try and prevent this from happening. Will force Chono and Peppermint off of the Gromp. Only one camp stolen away before this Darius. Leahy making life difficult still for Silver. about a 20 CS lead. Now Chono trying to prevent a rotate up. Second Drake up and available. Chono deciding not to contest after the previous Drake went so poorly. Philomena rotating over to cover the potential rotation from the Zed. Will catch him out a little bit. Will secure that second Drake. TBR now with a decent lead in neutral objectives. All of them secured for this squad. Taker up here on this top side though, and Leahy may be a little bit far. Silver will pop the ultimate. Those Qs are landing with laser precision. Leahy will use the ultimate. It's not going to be enough to keep Haker out of the fight. Rumble falling on that top side. Now what can they do with that? Silver is starting to become a little bit scary. Going to be able to create a lot of space for his team. We saw how well he did on the Mordekaiser in previous games. Can he continue that performance and lead Baggy Panthers to a victory? He just getting a little overconfident in this top lane matchup. Now needs to tone it down just a little. And still poke out, but make sure you're placing down proper vision and respecting the potential plays. Diana can get there very quickly. Philomena will get his second upgrade. Force of Will now doing true damage. Silver will collect his first item. First item also completed for Leahy though. CS advantage, creating enough gold for him to be able to do so. Death Star needs to be careful here in this mid lane. Baby Josh finding Peppermint here will prevent a potential play. Philomena though, going to make life difficult. Oh, not able to get that R onto Death Star, but will force him to recall. Out for Aces and Jyrel. Fighting it back and forth. Jyrel very, very low. Will have to use the ultimate. Get away. Right, cleanse going to cause the exhaust to go away, but now Peppermint ulti coming out as well. Haker in a very rough position here, but Chono getting a response kill back. Will use the ultimate. Baby Josh will fall to that bleed. A double kill over to the Darius. Bot lane not going so well for Baggy Pampers. Death Star though trying to make a play onto Philomena. Uses the Q a little bit too early. Oh, shutdown. Okay. Death Star barely able to win that one out. The Q a little early in that mid lane play. But will still manage to collect the kill in the end. The unleashed power not doing nearly as much damage. Blackfire Torch picked up here in the mid lane for Philomena. Not my favorite, but given the team composition, not the worst, I suppose. This is an okay time to build it. As Peppermint trying to make something happen here in the mid lane. Will use the ultimate. The ultimate coming out from Haker and Leahy as well. Will be TBR. Chono is very strong right now. That Rift Herald going to go over to the side of Baggy Pampers. Or excuse me, we'll go over to the side of Order of the Black Rose actually. Very back and forth game. Both sides finding their strong points. Going to need to play around them. Chono once again looks for an invade. We'll once again have Peppermint here to help. Rejosh gets some deep vision for his team. We'll rotate back down to that bottom side. Chono now up here on this top side. Taker discovering that all of his camps are gone. So we're going to prevent Leahy from recalling. This Rumble a little bit low, needs to be careful. Silver is relatively tanky now. Does have the ultimate available. Really good vision here from Peppermint. Oh no, putting this Rift Turtle down in mid lane will create a lot of pressure as this X-Check Drake will be up. Teleport coming out from the Mundo into that mid lane. Leahy, no teleport available for him. That top lane quest not quite completed. Excuse me, he will actually have teleport available. It will be completed. Silver, though, needs to create space for his team. Nono is here, and he is very threatening. Lamina will have a decent amount of damage. Will stun up Haker. Drake will be started up. Death Star looking for the potential flank. Taking those Hex Gates, but will leave his team a little bit weak. Poke coming out from Philomena as Baby Josh gets found out. The bullet time will be allowed to complete, and Silver trying to create space. League of Leahy will go down. Shutdown going over to the Mundo. Multiple shutdowns going over to the Mundo, in fact. Philomena, the last remaining member of his team, will get run down by this Mundo. And an ace for the side of Baggy Pampers. Once again, Silver doing all the work in this team fight. Cannot be killed. Despite Gyrel going down, was able to dish out a decent amount of damage in that team fight.
Learn to dance.
So a full ace for 3 in the favor of Baggy Pampers. Now they will start up this Drake. Chono is here, does have the blast plant. Leahy looking for a potential play. They go over the wall, but it's too late. Chono in the middle of 5 people. Silver is now godlike as Leahy has to flash over the wall. Baggy Pampers, they have started to find their footing in this game. Game 5 still looking possible. The gold lead has tilted in the favor of Baggy Pampers now. TBR, they need to be careful. They need to play this correctly. Silver is very big now. Has his full Heartsteel. That is going to feel very rough for the side of for the side of TBR. He's going to be able to create so much space. Leahy is going to need to roast this abomination. First turret though will go over to Word of the Black Rose. Leahy now facing a 3-man dive. Charm coming out, and that will be secured by Haker without a single problem. Ultimate coming out from the Rumble to try and clear out the wave. Will manage to do so. Nono though, looking here on the bottom side, trying to see if there's any camps available for him. Will not be so as the Baron does spawn. 20 minutes and a 2.5k gold lead in the favor of Baggy Pampers. They're trying to do the same thing to Death Star. Oh no, going to miss the pullback. Good ultimate coming out from Death Star. Will not do enough damage to put Chono in any danger, but will force him to back off as the rest of Baggy Pampers do walk over here. Protect their mid laner. TBR putting up a fight. Not wanting this series to end just yet. Wanting to get to that game number 5. Both teams now starting to posture around this Baron. Drake not available for another 2.5 minutes. This is the critical moment of the game. This is where these teams have found their fights. Right around this fourth Drake. It has been almost every single game. Fourth Drake has been the most important one of the series. And the way this one is shaping up, looks like it will continue to be.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Silver with a decent gold lead now, though. 3.5K. He is pretty much all of his team's gold lead at this point. Vision, though, good setup here from the side of TBR. Both teams need to push their vision in, clear out the enemy's vision. Oh no. Looking to do just that with Peppermint, Baker, and Baby Josh. Working together to clear out the vision already placed by TBR. 1 minute remaining on this Drake. This is the critical one, and both these teams seem to know it. Star up on the top side without teleport. Does have the Hex Gates and will recall right now. Philomena does have that teleport available and is allowed to push this wave in. We'll be able to make it to the fight. Maybe Josh not realizing that he's sitting on a ward. Now Chono looking for potential play here. Flash away from Haker. The full team not yet here. So we're going to take that Hex Gate. And now it is a full 5v5. Both these teams have realized this is the critical moment. This is where the team fight matters. Deathstar once again finding that flank, looking for it. Peppermint trying to prevent it, but Silver going to make life difficult. Krasis has to flash away. Baby Josh going in, but does fall to the Darius. Another falls as Haker also goes down. Rayrel does manage to find a return kill. Deathstar going to cause Philomena to go very, very low. Will collect the kill. Jyrel still up and available, but Chono the same. Going to get onto that Zaya. Silver creating so much space. Will take out the... Oh, not quite enough to take out... Oh no, it's disaster. Silver does it again, creating so much space in that team fight. 10, 1, and 4. 3 full items on this Mundo.
Blue team's turret has been
Chono just a little bit too early on that ultimate. Maybe a little bit of panic. But a 4 for 5. And once again, Baggy Pampers will be the beneficiaries of this. They will be able to take the Drake, put themselves on even footing with TBR. No Baron play available. Peppermint needs to be careful here. Cannot just walk into this Mundo. Not quite the critical breakout team fight that we were hoping for. Will edge Baggy Pampers closer to that win. A 4.5K gold lead now at 25 minutes into the game. Baron not able to be taken by either team just yet. But these objective fights are big, and TBR, if you are on their side, you have to be a little bit worried. For me, I'm a little bit worried as well. This itemization has been absolutely... just has not been good from Philomena on these mid lane mages. The Jace game was quite a bit better, but Cosmic Drive's second item is just not the correct play here. Move speed is nice, but into a Zed and Diana, you just are never getting away. So much follow-up. Mundo the same. Realistically, it is not your job to kill the Mundo. It's your job to CC him, yes. And the cooldown will help, but it's going to be all on this Darius to kill off the Mundo. As now Haker looking to start up this Baron, trying to sneak it away, but pings are going down. It seems like there is some potential knowledge of this play. So we're on the bottom side with teleport. Now TBR move in to take control of the area. We'll try to clear out a lot of this vision. Silver though, creating more and more pressure on this bottom side. He's going to be a problem that TBR cannot ignore. More vision clearing out from the side of TBR. Maybe Josh recalls for more rewards. Now TBR, do they fancy a sneak? No, it looks like they're going for Death Star here on the Zed. Needs to be careful. There are 4 members here. You cannot stay underneath this turret. You're going to get dove. Will get dove. Indeed. Will. Oh, okay. The good ulti. The flash away, but the shutdown going over to Chono. And now Haker is here. Peppermint and Chono all by themselves. Philomena not in the area. Peppermint will fall to Jirel. League of Leahy will take out Baby Josh, but Silver going after Chono. Is he a little bit too far? Jirel cannot get into this fight. Neither can Haker. The ultimate coming out for Silver. Slight advantage for TBR in this team fight. But not enough of one to be able to take that Baron. That Star trying to get away in that team fight was not able to do so quickly enough. Chono did manage to get the ultimate off onto him. This is the problem. Silver is able to get into the team fight and create enough space. Bit of an awkward position for those team fights as well. Baker now sniffing out. Will get spotted out by Chono using that vision ward. Excuse me, the sweeper. And now he is stuck between a huge rock and a hard place. Silver going to collect that kill and go legendary. Philomena tries to help out. Ooh, Death Star though finds Philomena. No Zanya's available. Will fall to the ignite. This is the problem with this itemization. No Zanya's pretty much critical at this point in the game. Baby Josh going to defend as the purple worm will fall. Baggy Pampers pushing their lead further and further ahead. And a lot of people in the server hoping for a game number 5. That prospect starting to fade. So a point for both of these teams who will collect this Drake. Chono trying to stay out of vision here. Death Star has been doing a really good job, really honestly all series, in trying to find these good flanks. He did it well on the Akali. He's doing it well on the Zed. He's now playing around this Drake. Silver has all the space to create for his team. Death Star once again going over the wall. The ultimate used from the Rumble, but not to much effect here. Racist creating so much, or excuse me, Death Star creating so much space for his team just by being in the back line. Now looking for the play, tries to go in, but a good E from Philomena prevents that play. The bullet time coming over. Baby Josh trying to prevent it, does indeed do so, and Silver just on the back line. Peppermint very, very low. Chono the next to fall. A double kill. And now Baggy Pampers are marching it down this bottom lane. This may be the end of the series. TBR. They need to defend, and they need to do so very, very well. Bottom lane inhibitor turret falls. The bot lane inhibitor soon to follow. Philomena trying to do all the damage, but just does not have a whole lot of it right now. Falling behind on the Syndra.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Baggy Pampers will reset. Side bot lane inhibitor is enough for them for now. But we'll start playing towards this top side. Resets coming out for all members. 9k gold lead now for the side of Baggy Pampers. Only a few seconds left on this Baron, so they will not get an additional push. Looking at the gold graph, it has been back and forth. That breakout moment, though, seeming to come around that 4th Drake, as we said. It wasn't really a huge team fight win one way or the other, but it did start to push that lead in the favor of Baggy Pampers, and it's been 4th Drake every single time. Pretty much the team that wins that team fight has won the game, especially if Silver is able to get multiple kills. It is looking worse and worse for TBR here. They have to put up a good defense. They have to find a way to kill off Silver. It has to be this Darius and this Misfortune working together to kill this massive champion in the mid lane. Or excuse me, in the top lane. Silver with 556 stacks. Excuse me. Full build on this Mundo.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
This is a scary, scary champion. Top lane, outer turret, the final outer for the side of TBR to fall now. Mundo creating so much space here against Krasis. All the other members going for a top lane play. Haker going to flash away. The ultimate coming out from the Rumble will fade with only a little bit of damage onto Baby Joss and Haker. And now TBR huddled up around this top lane turret. Silver creating so much space. Oh my goodness, that turret just gets absolutely roasted by Silver. In the top, he had a difficult start to the game, but he pushing that advantage just a little too much, and now the shoe is on the other foot. Silver pushing in this mid lane. The rest of his team doing their best to push in the top lane. A lot of wave clear though in Leahy and Krasis will make things difficult. Philomena also having a respectable amount of wave clear on that Syndra. A bit of a stalemate between these two teams, but Drake coming up in 50 seconds, Baron up in 40. Both teams resetting for these objectives. Bot lane inhibitor being still down for a few more minutes, going to make life very difficult. Making Baron very difficult for this TBR team. Still a couple minutes left. Now both teams huddled around this Drake. X-Tech Soul for Baggy Pampers if they can collect it. Death Star though, a little bit of a sticky spot. Will just get a little bit of poke and get out. Silver creating a decent amount of space here for his team. Not have that passive currently. This Drake is very low though. Death Star. Oh, he might have gone a little bit too far, but the ultimate's coming out from Haker. Just multiple AoE ultimates, and that is just a wipe. That's the end of the game. Haker is going to take this Drake Soul, but Silver is TPing into this mid lane. Wave pushing in from the bottom side as well. Just an absolute wipe. Not a single member of Baggy Pampers falling. Death Star almost looked like he went too far. It was a good look from TBR to try and pull the trigger while he was getting that flank off, but not enough damage. 14k gold lead here at the end of the game. All right, welcome back, everyone. We have Silver here, the top laner of Baggy Pampers. Silver, how you feeling after that 3-1 win?
I mean, how can I feel, bro? Feeling great.
All
Easy
right.
dub.
You did get a penta in game number 2 on that Mordekaiser, the first penta of playoffs. So that bodes pretty well for your team. Are you guys going to carry that into finals?
Well, yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna get another pentakill. I should probably let have honor of that maybe to my AD carry or somebody else. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Spread the love around a little bit.
Yeah. We gotta share the money. You know. So
Yeah.
share the fame.
Yep, for sure. Definitely, you're the first MVP interview of the playoffs as well. I mean, you guys are the first game, so it makes sense, but, you know, still a big honor. So you did quite a bit of damage in pretty much every single game. I think the third game was the only one where you, like, weren't topping the damage charts, but even in that last game, you did more damage than anyone else on a Mundo. Tanks in 2026, by the way. So are you going to continue that streak for the finals?
Yeah, definitely. I won't be playing no vegan picks where I sit back and CC. You know, like this is boring, right? So gotta
right.
deal the damage.
Love to hear it. Absolutely love to hear it. Anyone else you want to shout out on your team?
I mean, my whole team just is Smurf, man. So like, it's hard to just pick one, right? But I think I want to shout out the most. I want to shout out our support, Baby Josh, because he put a vacation from his work just to be here. You know, so we can't just let him down. He's literally like, if we don't win, he can't pay his rent. He's just literally gonna be broke. So yeah, we need the paycheck from finals, unfortunately.
All right.
For whoever wins the next series.
All right. Well, we will see you in finals then. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with us. Go celebrate your team and get ready.
All right. Thanks.
All right, everyone. That is Order of the Black Rose versus Baggy Pampers. Baggy Pampers taking it in a 3-1 fashion.